that first morning, there was almost no hint of the drama that would follow in the next 4 days. Defence Minister Juan Ponce Enrile was taking coffee as usual. He knew a group of young military officers loyal to him was planning to stage a coup that night. He didn't know some of them had been arrested the night before, and that his name was on the list. He would take a phone call here alerting him to the danger he was in.
They got information from their contacts in the palace. We were going to be arrested that day.
Meanwhile, in the Villa San Miguel, Cardinal Sin was meeting with the hierarchy of the Catholic Church. They were to play an important role in what would happen later that day.
We were continuously having a meeting here because we foresee that there will be trouble.
And 500 kilometers away, Cory Aquino was in Cebu. She'd begun a long campaign to boycott the Marcos regime. She had no idea then that in 4 days, she would be president of the Philippines. But she had been warned the night before.
An Air Force captain came to see me and he said, you know, Mrs. Aquino, I really think you should cancel your trip to Cebu tomorrow. And I said, why? Well, we have it from very reliable sources that there will be a coup on Sunday at 2 in the morning is what he told me. And I said, oh no, not again. You know, I had been hearing things like this before.
Colonel Gregorio Honasan was a key figure in what was to have happened that night. For more than 3 years, he'd been preparing a daring plan to stage a coup.
The plan actually was to undertake a military operation. And my area of responsibility was Malacanang Palace. My mission was to attack the palace, occupy it, arrest the president and his family, and then neutralize General Ver.
And Defense Minister Enrile was part of that plan.
Yes, that's true.
But some of the officers close to Marcos had plans of their own.
Some of them did not even bother to keep it quiet. They were more or less hinting that if something should happen to the president, they would then make Mrs. Marcos as the successor to the president, to the presidency, and after a while take her out and the country would be ruled by the group of General Ver. So we decided to make a plan of our own to counteract this plan.
But their plan went wrong. That afternoon, Enrile and a few hundred military supporters took over defense headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo and prepared to defend themselves. The coup had become a mutiny.
After lunch at about 2 o'clock, Colonel Honasan and 2 other gentlemen informed me that they got information from their contacts in the palace that we were going to be arrested that day. And I decided that the best option for us was to come to this camp, Camp Aguinaldo, and confront the situation directly.
Konti lang, Brad. Move back, move back, move back.
We'll stay here until we are all killed. We are here to take a stand. If any one of us will be killed, I think all of us must be killed. The question that I asked myself before I came before you is it worth living to serve a government that does not really represent the will of the people?
I am withdrawing my support for the President. That power and that authority that is legally with me as the commander of the Philippine Constabulary and the Integrated National Police, and the very little that I have as Vice Chief of Staff.
Personally, I believe that the President did not win this election. He was proclaimed by the Batasan in a hasty manner, and I felt embarrassed while I was sitting there watching the proceedings. I had to raise my hand in order to show that I voted for him, but inside me, it rankled me that I have raised my hand. and I'm sorry to say this because I've served him well over the years, but I am a Filipino over and above everything else.
President Marcos said tonight that the publicly announced decision of Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile and Armed Forces Vice Chief of Staff Fidel Ramos to break away from his administration was triggered by Malacanang's discovery of an attempted coup d'etat that apparently involved the two. The president told a news conference that the aborted coup was to be carried out shortly after midnight tonight and involved the assassination of the president and the First Lady.
I call upon the Minister of National Defense and the Vice Chief of Staff to stop this stupidity and surrender so that we may